Good afternoon. I'm Steve Hensley. Governor Beshear is holding a news conference as we speak in Breathitt County. It's the third one of the day. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring it to you live because of signal issues, but I am told that he said the death toll stands at 37 right now, but he says it will be updated. There are about 7,000 people still without power. That's still a lot of folks, but it's down significantly since the flood. Now, come back to me for a moment if you can. The KSB has done more than 1,000 wellness checks, and most people reported missing have been accounted for. So that's a bit of good news. Again, KSB has done more than 1,000 wellness checks, but the governor says most people reported missing have been accounted for. So we can only hope and pray that the death toll does not go up much higher. Again, the governor is speaking in Breathitt County right now. That's the third stop of the day. He was in Pike and Floyd counties earlier, and the county judge and mayor also speaking there in Breathitt County. We do have a reporter at his stop in Breathitt County, and we'll have more later tonight. Now, supplies and help are pouring into areas of eastern Kentucky hit hard by the flooding. Buckhorn in Perry County was among the war zone looking areas. WYMT's Phil Pendleton went back there today and shows us what's being done in the past and how one item recovered is giving them hope.
Buckhorn School was breached by waters from Squabble Creek that is flowing in such a way that is showing a much less form of force than it was just a few days ago. It left behind a lot of damage. The school board is going to meet and decide how to proceed with the school year that was set to start next week. But amid the rubble comes a lot of relief. The school gym has been transitioned into a distribution center, and overlooking that is a plaque that was found still intact in the flooded school.
We had yesterday, we found our In God We Trust plaque that we had displayed in the office. So we have that over at our distribution center now at the log gym. We take that as a message.
We spoke to a lot of families inside that school gymnasium that sits just across the roadway from the flooded and damaged school, and many of them told me that even if their home was not destroyed, it was so heavily damaged that everything inside it had to be discarded. In Buckhorn and Perry County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Well, people say they are thankful there was not more loss of life or injuries in the Buckhorn area. Of course, there were deaths in other parts of Perry County. Many businesses throughout the region were destroyed or damaged by floodwaters late last week, but one Floyd County restaurant is inching closer to reopening. The Garrett Fountain was hit hard with 1 to 2 feet of floodwater in their dining area, kitchen, and stock rooms, destroying many pieces of equipment as well as products and ingredients needed for the business to operate. Since last Friday, cleanup has been underway, and owners Aaron and Amber Sparkman say they plan to reopen this Friday. Amber Sparkman added that the restaurant is more than just a pizza place, but a safe space for the community to come together with friends and family.
This business was given to us by God, and we use it for Him and His glory. I don't really think of it as a business, but I think of it as I'm feeding my family. For each customer that comes through this door, I treat them as if they're my family, and I want everyone that works here to.
Amber and Aaron Sparkman also said once the business is operational, they plan to help flood victims as much as possible by taking up donations for supplies as well as donating pizzas for those in need. We'll have more from the Garrett Fountain tonight at 5:30. People across our communities are stepping up in different ways during and after the flooding. We recently heard the story of Earl Moore, a Knott County native, who says his mom called him around 3 a.m. Thursday saying the water was quickly rising in her home. Earl left safety to save her in his neighbor's kayak.
And all I could do was be concerned about my mother, who could be drowning in her home. I couldn't, in good faith, stay there safe at my neighbor's house without knowing that I made every effort to make sure my mother was safe.
Earl was able to get his mom to safety, but says looking back, it is a miracle. He made it up the creek to her house without hitting any debris. You'll learn more of Earl and his mom's story coming up tonight at 6. As cleanup efforts continue across the mountains, leaders are hoping for more help to get communities back on their feet after those floodwaters poured through last week. As we mentioned earlier, Governor Andy Beshear made several more stops in the mountains today, sharing news that aims to do just that. Here's WYMT's Buddy Forbes with the highlights from the governor's first 2 stops.
No definitive increase in the death toll, but good news for 2 counties in the region. That's what Governor Andy Beshear said today as he made several stops in the Big Sandy region, discussing some updates as the communities continue to deal with what the waters left behind. Governor Beshear visited Pike and Floyd counties today, checking out some of the resource centers, meeting some of the volunteers, and sharing news as the communities work to clean up. While he says it will be a long road, the area took steps forward today as both counties were approved for federal individual assistance.
What that means is people who go through the process and qualify can get dollars directly to them to help them rebuild. Program's not enough, but it's a whole lot more than otherwise would be available.
Now Governor Beshear says the true beauty is not what the government is giving to Kentucky, but what Kentuckians are giving to each other. Reaching out, neighbor helping neighbor, giving back even when they have nothing left to give. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The governor also stopped by the Garrett and Wayland areas today before his 3rd news conference in Breathitt County, which is underway now or maybe has just wrapped up. We also have a reporter in Breathitt County, and we'll have more on that coming up tonight at 6 and 11.
Well, I do have a little bit of good news as we run through the daytime hours today. We didn't see those storms last night. They didn't form, which is good because we certainly did not need any more of the rain. Unfortunately, our attention now turns to the heat that's on the way for the next couple of days. A heat advisory has been put into effect for Owsley, Clay, Leslie, Perry, Breathitt, Knott, Letcher, Floyd, and Pike counties. If you'll recall, those are the 8 counties that at least part of them last Thursday morning were under a flash flood emergency. The National Weather Service seeing we have a lot of first responders out in these areas. A lot of folks still without power, may not have air conditioning, so the heat advisory is in effect. We're talking heat indices between 95 and 100 as we head later on into the work week, and it's already warm outside right now. Pinpoint Doppler is thankfully a clean sweep around the mountains. We don't need any more rain, and I think we're going to get at least a day or 2 on the dry side. All the rain's been off to the west, as we've seen throughout the day today. Temperatures remain on the warm side, middle and upper 80s with more sunshine out there. It feels closer to the low to even middle 90s in some spots. It feels like 93 right now in Jackson. We're down into the upper 60s to near 70 tonight. Partly clear skies turning mostly clear as we run through the nighttime hours. I'll detail though on how hot we get and when we could see an increase in shower and storm activity again. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The Kentucky Wildcats are doing their part to help flood victims here in the mountains by doing what they do best, put on a show. WYMT's Courtney Lane Brewer joins us now live from Lexington with more on that. Courtney?
Thanks, Steve. I'm here at Rupp Arena, where in just about an hour, doors will open and BBN will come together to help Eastern Kentucky. Tonight, fans are asked to make a donation to the Red Cross in lieu of admission to an open practice and telethon featuring the Wildcats and other special guests. Cal has also promised a special announcement during that practice, an effort that was put together in just 2 days by the team themselves. Like I said, doors open at 5 and practice begins at 6:30. There will be fun and surprises, but most importantly, money will be raised for those hurting out in the mountains. We'll have updates on Twitter all night long, but for now in Lexington, I'm Courtney Lane Brewer. Back to you.
All right, Courtney, hoping to hear of maybe some big donations coming up later tonight. Thank you. And of course, we'll have a wrap up of that event coming up tonight at 11. Well, speaking of the Wildcats, past, present, and future UK basketball stars will be coming to London on Saturday to give back to Eastern Kentucky. Several members of the Kentucky women's basketball team, including former Harlan County star Blair Green and Shelby Valley standout Cassidy Rowe, will partner with the North Laurel basketball team to host the 606 basketball camp for flood relief. The camp will take place on Saturday at North Laurel High School. Registration begins at 8 a.m. and is open to boys and girls from kindergarten through 8th grade. All proceeds go to the Appalachia Rising Flood Relief Campaign and the Foundation for Appalachia Crisis Fund. A ministry group out of the Cincinnati area is in Hazard today, providing loads of hope. Matthew 25 Ministries deployed the Tide Loads of Hope mobile unit. It's set up outside the Hazard Walmart. Flood survivors can bring 2 bags of clothes per household, but no heavy bedding. They'll be at Walmart until at least Thursday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. or until capacity is reached.
Some people are without power, some people are without water, some people have lost everything. So a variety of situations that we're able to come in and help and provide them with clean laundry.
The ministry can wash 150 loads per day. Clothes are washed, dried, and returned to folks in 24 hours. Food City is teaming up with WYMT and other stations for a fundraising campaign to benefit flood relief efforts. Food City has pledged a $25,000 contribution to kick off the drive. The campaign will run from Wednesday, August 3rd through Friday, August 12th in all Kentucky and the Tri-City area of Tennessee Food City locations. Customers wishing to participate can make a monetary donation at the checkout. 100% of the funds collected will benefit the Appalachian Kentucky Crisis Fund. Well, we are partnering with WKYT in Lexington and WSAZ in Charleston, Huntington, West Virginia for Appalachia Rises, a week of giving. Our goal is to support the ARH Foundation Fund for Flood Relief and the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky Crisis Fund. Our fundraising efforts have received a major boost from Hazard native Joe Kraft and his wife, former UN Ambassador Kelly Knight Kraft. The couple will match every dollar raised for the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky Crisis Fund up to $1 million. You can get involved in the fundraising effort by scanning the QR code you see there on your screen. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Tuesday. The Dow closes down more than 401 points. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. Straight ahead here on First at 4, a tattoo that can track your health is in development in Asia.
Plus, our big threat switches from heavy rain to big-time heat as we head into the next couple of days. The very latest is on the way.